What's up, everybody? Pete Pardo here from Sea of Tranquility. Welcome to day 24 of Forgotten Favorites here in May of 2024. Day 24, 2024, May 24, that's right. Forgotten Favorites is all about picking out and talking about these unknown, undiscovered, underrated, obscure albums released throughout music history that never quite got the attention they deserved, or any attention for that matter, right? Underground stuff, little known releases from people we might know, or completely obscure bands or artists, right? But with their favorites of ours, right? Forgotten or never discovered by everybody, but we really like them a lot. So today on day 24, this is the debut album from this power trio, somewhat of a supergroup. I'd say they're a supergroup, released January 1976 for Capitol Records, produced by Jimmy Robinson. I'm talking about the self-titled debut from Paris. This, of course, is the Rock Candy reissue, right? Rock Candy, how awesome are they, right? So, of course, Paris features Bob Welch on guitars and vocals from Fleetwood Mac, right? Shortly after he left Fleetwood Mac. Glenn Cornick on bass and keyboards, formerly of Jethro Tull, right? Tom Mooney on drums, formerly of the Nazz. Very cool band, right? On paper, this should really, really work. On album, yeah, it works. Unfortunately, it didn't last too long. They actually released this. Mr. Mooney left after this album. They did one more record, and then by the time the record even came out, they were done. So, again, one of those probably bands that had lots of potential. The music is really good, but just never really caught on with the public eye. This barely, I think this came in like just outside of the top 100 Billboard record charts here in the States, right? So it didn't quite make a lot of waves, but, people did buy it because fresh out of Fleetwood Mac. Fleetwood Mac, at the time, 1976, right? That new lineup of Fleetwood Mac basically just destroying everything in its path, right? But the albums with Bob Welch also did pretty good, and Glenn with Jethro Tull, right? Played on those first few Jethro Tull albums, very notable. So you can see how this might have done some big business, but just never really did. Something about all these supergroups, right? Most of them never quite take off like we want them to. What's the music you might add on or ask on this particular record? Well, it doesn't sound anything like Fleetwood Mac. It doesn't sound anything like Jethro Tull or Glenn's other band before or after Jethro Tull. And it doesn't sound anything like the Nazz. What does it sound like? It sounds like Led Zeppelin. Yeah, it's like Bob is going for that kind of Robert Plant-ish vocal style on here, and the songs for the most part on this album are in that kind of more of Zeppelin's harder rock stuff. That's what the whole album is like. And, it's so funny, I was sitting there thinking about it as I was re-listening to this record and thinking, how, like, Greta Van Fleet always says how they, well, people say we sound like Led Zeppelin. We never really listened to Led Zeppelin. Maybe they were listening to Paris. Because you listen to this and you're like, oh, Greta Van Fleet, yeah, I could see the connection, right? I'm sure they weren't. I'm sure the kids in Greta Van Fleet have no idea who this band is, but it would make sense, right? So what do we got on here? We got 10 tracks on this album. It's most of the songs are about 3-4 minutes long. Just some really good ones. Black Book is a great rocker. The first two tracks on here are excellent. Black Book and Religion, really cool. Just good kind of meat and potatoes, metallic bluesy rock, right? That sounds like the more harder rock and Zeppelin stuff. Star Cage is kind of interesting. That's a little on the funky side. Good guitar work from Bob throughout this whole album. Really, really good. The rhythms are good. Get some nice deep bass grooves from Glenn. Beautiful Youth is a cool song. Nazarene is really good. I like that one. It's another one of my favorites on the album. Then probably the most interesting song on here is the first song over on side 2 of the original vinyl. That's Narrow Gate, La Porta Etreute, or however the hell you say that. That's really cool. That's a little bit more. It's a little bit longer piece. It's almost 7 minutes long, and that's got some interesting textures and things. It's a little more of a progressive track. There's even some little bit of Mellotron on there. Interesting stuff. I really like that. That kind of shows a little different side to what they're doing, because most of the rest of the stuff falls into a similar pattern. Solitaire is really good. I love Breathless. Good rocker there. Rock of Ages also really good. And then Red Rain is another one of my favorites. That's the closer, and that's got really good guitar playing on there. The riff is really cool. Drumming's right in the pocket, and I think Bob's vocals are very well done throughout the whole thing. Maybe he's singing a little uncharacteristically, right? But again, we never really had heard him before this singing this type of material in this context. So, usually we were used to Bob doing the kind of a little bit more laid back Fleetwood Mac stuff, or even his early solo stuff is definitely not like this at all. But still cool album, good rocking album if you like, just kind of like power trio rock, right? With a healthy influence of Led Zeppelin here. It's unmistakable. You listen to this whole thing, you just kind of like, it reminds me of like the more rockin' stuff from like Physical Graffiti, Presence, and maybe Into the Outdoor, right? The latter part of the catalog. Very cool stuff. I like it a lot. So that's my pick for today. Paris, self-titled, Bob Welch, Glenn Cornick, and Tom Mooney. The little power trio that kind of wasn't, right, in the grand scheme of things, right? They were quickly, but that's about it. So, visit us. Let us know what you think of this if you heard it down below, as well as your pick for today. And then visit us on the web at www.seaoftranquility.org. We're on Facebook, we're on YouTube all together all the damn time. Please subscribe if you haven't already and click on that notification bell so you get alerted of all of our content as it posts. And please do hit the like button before you leave. Also, down below, we got the links to our Ko-Fi page for channel donations, our merch page, and our Cameo page. Thanks in advance for all your support there. Always want to say that because it is very much appreciated. And we'll see you just in a little bit. Martin Popoff is set to come into the Funhouse, so we're going to have an interesting show. Taking a look at the 1980s output from Van Halen, David Lee Roth solo, and Sammy Hagar solo. We're going to take a look at all those albums, throw them all down on the floor, and rank them as we like them. That's what we're doing. So that's coming up. We got the Professor's Picks coming up later today as well. We've also got ranking the albums this week. I will be ranking the first 4 albums from Spirit, and of course the review crew tomorrow evening as well. So lots happening. We'll see you there for everything. I'm Pete Pardo. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.